one. Hi! And welcome back. We're back, hopefully, if editing has gone well, when we're meant to be back and we're not having like a 6-week One Direction hiatus? How do you say that word?
Hiatus.
I was just like, when I started speaking, I was like, how do you say that word? Hiatus? Wait, how do you say it again? Hiatus. It's not even that hard. Hiatus. Okay. So yeah, welcome back to I Read Online Somewhere. And we're here every week or every 3 months, depending on gallbladder removals. And we discuss what we've read online this week, and answer your strange and wonderful questions you probably should have asked your science teachers at school. I'm Amy. I didn't ask these questions either, but luckily for me, I'm joined by 2 science teachers, Andrew and Ross.
Hello.
Hello.
I was just looking at them to see if they were going to say hello.
Yeah, well, Amy's kind of blocking me out from the mic here.
Sorry.
She's physically pushed me out the way, taken the pop shield. Right, I'm back in. Right.
He's back in, but Andrew and Ross are here to help us answer those questions if they actually know them. So now we're on season 3, episode 13 of the podcast. And this week it's all about real life Stranger Things, which I am really concerned about. It's Andrew's story. And there's a reason I didn't watch the new season of Stranger Things, because I was worried that people had said it was quite scary, and now I'm worried that you're...
It's not.
I'm worried.
The newest season is not that scary.
I heard it was really creepy and really jumpy, so I was like, I'm just not going to watch it.
Body horror and stuff.
There's more like if you've...
It's not actually jumpy.
I don't mind body horror, but things like Paranormal Activity, I cannot deal with that.
Yeah, no, it's not like that.
That's the kind of stuff I don't
like. In fact, it's kind of like it's... You know what kind of roughly what's about to happen anyway. Because if you've seen any of the other series, it's very similar.
To be honest, it's so long ago that the last season was out that I literally... The only guy I can remember is the wee guy with no teeth because he's so cute.
Dustin.
That's literally... And Mike... And that's literally it. I can't even remember which of the boys went missing.
Will.
Oh yeah.
The one with the haircut. Oof. Talk about barber problems.
And Samwise Gamgee.
Oh, he did.
Oh, Bob.
Wait a minute.
Was that his
Spoiler.
name?
I really liked him.
Oh, come on. No, that was season
2.
3?
Yeah, it's
2?
still a spoiler though.
Yeah, 2. That's like season 2. No, that's not. If you've not seen it by now.
4 years, plenty time.
Yeah, plenty time.
So yeah, Stranger Things, Andrew, take us...
Are you okay?
Sorry. Take us away. Oh.
Take us away. Oh, well. So there are minor spoilers, but I mean by this point, I think that you would have known about some of these spoilers already. But my article is how a Stranger Things character is inspired by the real-life story of Damien Eccles from the West Memphis 3. So, guys, we've actually turned it into a murder mystery podcast.
Oh no! I know that. Andrew, if you give me nightmares tonight, I'm going to be raging.
I promise there's no nightmares. But
okay.
So the main character, one of the characters that's in the new season 4, is called Eddie Munson, and if you're a true crime fan, then you may already know about the West Memphis 3. So back in 1993, 3 bodies were discovered that were murdered, basically, in these sort of weird circumstances. And Damien Eccles, who was one of 3 other boys who were pinpointed or arrested because of this as suspects. So there's a guy called Damien Eccles, Jason Baldwin, and Jesse Canley. They were identified as suspects and they were arrested. And then they were all convicted of the murder of these 3 other boys. And when they were going through who these people were, so if you've seen Stranger Things, this kind of rings true. They were classed as social outcasts because they liked heavy metal music. And the trial that kind of happened on this was all based around the fact that these boys were into paganism and that they all read Stephen King books. Now, if you've ever read a Stephen King book, they're like kind of a bit out there, but they're not that mad. But this is what started off what we call a satanic panic, which in the 80s and 90s was a fear that Satanism was coming rampant in society. And that actually is what the character is based on in Stranger Things. So if you haven't seen Stranger Things season 4, Eddie Munson, who is the character that one of these guys is based off of, they played Dungeons and Dragons, and they're part of the Hellfire Club, which is basically just a club of guys and girls who play Dungeons and Dragons. Which, if you've ever played Dungeons and Dragons, it is not as scary as it kind of sounds. It's just like playing an RPG on a computer. Yeah. But that kind of led to these people, because they were classed as like social outcasts, becoming seen as like devil worshippers and Satanists. However, they were in 2007. There was new DNA evidence, and then in 2010 or 2011, sorry, there was a new trial, and they were, is it acquitted? Is that the word? Where they're found not guilty of it. But it's really interesting because that's one of the Stranger Things' relation to the wider world is actually Stranger Things has increased the popularity of Dungeons and Dragons. And lockdown also helped with increasing the popularity of Dungeons and Dragons, because it allowed people to work closely with
sit
other
at home
people,
for 6 hours.
like sit at home, and play a campaign, and do all that stuff. And there's so many online. We use, like, I've played a couple of games, and we use online systems now, and it's absolutely fantastic because it means that you can do it from, one of the groups is 3 different parts of the world, and we can all play together, which is just fantastic. So I just thought that was really interesting, though, that something like Stranger Things, which is a bit out there, is actually based on or one of the characters is based on a real life example. Although there are a lot of other things that Stranger Things have pulled from real life, but we'll not get into them because we're recording this quite late, and I don't want to give people nightmares.
I mean, they're not listening to it live, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, whenever you listen to it, I don't know.
Good morning, everyone.
There's a lot of stuff about.
Hope you enjoy your morning run.
A lot of stuff about stuff in pop culture getting blamed for like murders and things like that.
Yeah,
like Marilyn Manson's had that. Or you get a lot of people that like they use it in court, like people that like if they're up against for like a murder charge, and they'll be like, well, they listen to this type of music, or they play this kind of video game.
Yeah, like, well, yeah. So, I mean, like, there's that classic of video games increase violence, but actually, the counter-argument is, well, actually, it's a safer environment to do all of these things.
There's not even a counter-argument. It's scientifically incorrect.
Yeah.
It's actually less violent. You're less violent if you play video games.
And the other thing is, what they do forget about is, again, so I know we spoke about video games last week, but, people forget or miss out the cooperativeness of computer games. Especially where people are working in teams, and certainly lots of people I talk to when they talk about what video games is it you play, it's like co-op games where it's them with someone else, or it's them and a group of people, and that's how they meet. And again, the pandemic's kind of put all this sort of stuff together. But I just thought that was really interesting, and bringing in the sort of Dungeons and Dragons element, because if you've seen any of the rest of the series, Dungeons and Dragons pops up quite a lot, but you can certainly see as an outsider that it's some weird sort of cult thing. And now that I'm in the cult, it's very much not a cult.
We have a group
but
at work.
But it is.
We have a D&D group at work, I think.
Do you?
There's also a movie coming out next year.
Oh, there is.
Which actually looks alright.
Well,
but you have to listen to our Patreon movies and video game podcast to learn more about it.
You keep promoting this, and not one of us.
Yeah, and we're just not doing it.
Who's editing that?
I think Rox is doing one on his own that we don't know about.
Nah, he doesn't have the voice.
Oh,
shots fired.
I do have the weakest voice. I should probably just leave.
Oh, Ross, no. It wouldn't be the same without you.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Amy's science test.
Take us away, Ross.
Okay, question number 1. Why have men evolved to have more facial hair than women?
Oh, that's Ross's AirPod dying in my right ear.
Boop, boop, boop.
Can you?
Issue, we've got a few minutes. Let's go.
I don't think I can hear Andrew. Can I?
So this is awkward. So they've just like taken out their earphones, and they probably still think that they're on a call, but they're not, because the call has now quit on my end. So now you've just got me talking, and since I'm the one who's probably going to edit this, I'm just going to leave all this in, and we'll just have them call back soon. It's going to be quite exciting, because yeah, the call's just died, so we'll just end it there, and then we'll have them call back, hopefully, and you'll probably hear them call back. I'm going to keep this in too, because I think this is quite good fun. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, there's a lot of dead air, but we're getting there. And there they are.
Hey. Hi. Are we just going to try this? Wait.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
I don't know, I'm blaming Ross.
Our AirPods died.
I'm just going to connect to my...
No, I know, because as soon as you took yours out, the call ended.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Okay, so I think men have got more facial hair than women. I know is it testosterone that makes facial hair? Is that right?
Yeah, an increase in the testosterone.
An increase in testosterone. It must be like an evolutionary thing. Either to like attract, I don't know, attract the opposite sex, or...
Well, you were kind of
know.
there. No, I mean, like, you had basically answered it. So
okay, I'll take the marks.
Yeah, it's to do with the level of testosterone. So men produce more testosterone, and therefore have more facial hair. Women don't produce as much testosterone; they produce more estrogen. Therefore, they have less facial hair. But when that becomes unbalanced as you get older, women can then start to produce more testosterone, and therefore, you can get like hairy lips and chin beards and stuff.
Wait, so is that to do with more like when you're in menopause and stuff, and you're not producing as much estrogen?
Yes. So if you're in menopause, or past menopause, and I think when you're not on HRT, it can cause these problems later on. Not all the time, but as well sometimes when I think women take HRT, it can cause that bit of an imbalance. But yeah.
Okay, nice. Okay, next question.
I just need to find my questions again.
Oh yes, I forgot that Ross was on the questions. Right, I need to close my eyes.
It's a topical
very
question.
apt for you, Amy. Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited. What is it?
Why are we born with organs we don't need?
Ooh. So like your gallbladder, because I've just had that removed. But also, what is it? Your appendix you don't need?
I don't have that.
Oh, did you have that out?
I don't have my appendix. Yeah.
Did you have it?
Out.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, actually,
I don't know.
so
I heard that you had your appendix because we used to eat grass.
Ugh,
Is
old
that
wives'
right?
tale.
Oh, is
No.
it? Okay. I don't know why we don't need it. I don't know.
Ross, do you have any ideas?
No, well, they're all ones that are connected to the digestive system. So it's things that.
But you can survive without. You can survive with just one kidney,
True, yeah.
and that's like water.
And your foreskin?
Is that an organ?
No,
Or skin?
but well, it's the skin. So yeah, technically.
Yeah, but you couldn't
But you don't
survive
need
without
it.
your whole skin. Your brain. You'd need.
True.
What are the other organs like pancreas, liver? Liver you need.
Liver you need. Pancreas you need. Well,
Heart.
you
need.
Definitely need your heart, lungs, but you can survive with one. Kidneys and adrenal
You can
glands,
have one.
you can survive with one. Spleen you cannot survive without.
Oh my god, I forgot about a spleen.
Yeah, nobody really talks about the spleen.
What's a spleen? What does that do?
I'm gonna Google that.
Filters your blood, so it checks your blood
Ah.
and it kind of cleans it, kind of ish.
Filters it.
But interestingly enough, though, so your gallbladder actually isn't an organ. I'm afraid to say.
Gotcha.
Neither is technically the appendix. It's not really an organ. But it is so the gallbladder is actually just a kind of storage point for the gall. For the bile, not gall. That's something else completely different. For the bile that is produced by your liver, and your bile is a surfactant, so it's like dish soap. I know, fancy word. So it's like a dish soap. So it basically picks up all the fat and scoops it up and like holds onto it or causes it to break down easier. Which is why if you do have your gallbladder removed, you do have to watch how much air quote fat is in your diet because it's now just essentially just dripping out of your liver, whereas before it was stored in your gallbladder. It's absolutely fine though. Like living proof that you can absolutely survive. But it's okay because like mine is the appendix, which is supposed to be. So at one point it was thought that it was an extra stomach, but now modern research is thinking that it's now to do with like it's a store for your gut bacteria. So you know how everybody now is on the Yakult train, which was like way back in the 90s, probiotics and prebiotics, all that sort of stuff, all about gut health, which is super important, drinking your kefir. But if you're not, so it's supposed to be a store for where your bacteria could live if there was a massive sort of evacuation of your bowels or you had something that ran through it. So, but you can survive without it. So yeah.
Survival. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
I'll do our last question then.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting Ross is doing the questions. Try not to lose.
Oh, interesting. Good question. What makes some plants green but other plants purple or red?
Chlorophyll?
Ooh.
Makes them green, doesn't it? Well, I would think the reason that they are green is because they've probably adapted to their surroundings to either attract bees, because they've been watching David Attenborough documentaries, or...
Andrew's face.
Is that not right? I just... Okay, Andrew, leave me because I'm on a roll.
Think of all the green things. Like, where do the bees go?
To their houses? I don't know what you mean.
Like, where do they go to get their food?
Their food or their nectar?
Yeah, where's their nectar?
To attract bees, that's what it's saying.
So everything's green to attract bees?
No, I'm saying they said purple.
Oh, okay, sorry.
That's what I was meaning about the purple. I said chlorophyll for green, did I not? And then it said something about purple.
You did, but I think...
And then it said a purple.
I think it's more like the purple leaves of trees.
Oh, is this specifically trees?
Yeah, no one said
plants. So rather than the flowers.
Wait, I'm going back to this question.
Which you are right. The flowers.
Right, guys. There's nothing about trees.
Yeah,
it says what makes some plants.
No,
well, they've said plants green and but others purple or red.
That's
it. Defense mechanism.
And you are right. That
I know.
Is there. So if it's flowers, then yes, it is to attract bees and other flying insects. But I think if we're talking about like the leaves of plants, then chlorophyll is the right answer for why they're green.
Yeah. Okay. Chlorophyll.
But
edit the rest out.
I want to know.
But why is chlorophyll? Why are they green? Or sorry, why is chlorophyll important? That's probably a follow-up question.
There must still be some sort of chlorophyll type device in these red plants. Like
there is.
Stuff.
It's called anthocyanins.
So it's a different
thing.
Is it like a defense thing?
No. So it's just a different pigment, right, that picks up different wavelengths of light. So as we have learned many a time, light comes in many wavelengths and therefore different colors. So green plants pick up light from the
blue and
red and blue ends of the spectrum, but not the green, because green's the color that's reflected.
Yeah.
And whereas the red and purple ones pick up from the sort of yellowy, blue, greeny ends of the spectrum.
But what's the reason? Just for a laugh? Or... No, but is there a reason like they're specifically that colour, like to attract bees or like to defend themselves against caterpillars or something?
It's just they've evolved.
No, so for leaves, for the leaves that they're that colour, it's just so that they can get as much photosynthesis or as much energy through photosynthesis as possible.
It's basically like putting a tanning oil on.
Yeah, or right. So think about
To
it.
put it in
way,
layman's
right?
terms.
If you're gonna, if you've got all the food in the world, but you can only eat, you're like a plant that can only eat this specific range of food, right? If you're a purple plant, you probably have some green pigments in there anyway. You probably have some chlorophyll, but you have also these other bits of chlorophyll. So therefore, you can eat like other types of food, not just the main green one. You can eat something else, and that's kind of what it's like. So
Okay.
But that's on the plant. If you're talking about petals and stuff, yeah, they're there for attraction or trying to tell bees or.
See, that's what I read it as, and I reckon that's what that person meant as well.
I'm not sure.
I'm gonna go and write to them and ask them to clarify.
So does photosynthesis happen? Does photosynthesis happen in exactly the same way in these other things that aren't chlorophyll?
Yes,
it's the
exactly
same chemical process.
Same chemical. Well, probably a slightly different pathway, but basically it's the same process. Yeah.
Do you want to know something really funny? Our son Harris, who's almost 4, has just learnt the word why, like just the constant why. Like Ross said, he took him somewhere the other day in the car, and it started off something like really simple, like I don't know, why is the sky blue? I don't know, something very simple, and then it ended up with Ross explaining photosynthesis to him because he just kept asking why all the time, and I think he was just a bit shook. But yeah, you could listen to this.
We got there from why I needed to go to work to pay for food. Why do we need food to get energy, and then to get energy?
Oh, where does energy come from? Yeah. Photosynthesis. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Funny. Yeah. We're going down rabbit holes. So if you also want to go down a rabbit hole, sorry, Andrew.
No, do it.
Whoa.
There's absolutely no
go ahead.
way.
Go.
Absolutely no way I could do it as good as Andrew.
No, but it's fun when it's.
He is raging. Go on, Andrew.
I'm not raging. It's the lights.
It's the photosynthesis.
It's the photosynthesis.
Right, go on. Take us home.
So if you have any questions that you'd like to send in to us, or would like to correct us on any of the science that we've spoken about today, please email us at ireaditos@gmail.com or contact us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or TikTok at ireaditos. And please do tell others about our podcast. Please leave a review. Thank you to those of you who have already left reviews. It helps us massively in the charts. And if you do have any spare change lying around, please feel free to buy us a coffee, buy us some merchandise, or join our Acast promotion where you can listen to our podcasts advert free. So we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Remember Amy's threat of if you don't give us £2, I won't be here next week.
Bye.
Oh, yeah, please donate to Save Ross.
Or don't donate. It's up to you.
Bye.